Hello everyone, it's Friday and welcome to Chocobo Radio episode 13. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Sarah Jane. She's a content creator with over 30,000 followers on Twitch and over 1 million views on YouTube. In her career, she's worked with esports teams, ran community events for Blizzard, and was even interviewed by Dextero after her Overwatch cosplay went viral. It is a pleasure to have you on my show, Sarah Jane.
Yay! Okay,
right,
it.
Yeah, so we were talking about Fanfest, and I was just saying that, you know, me and my fiance were going to be cosplaying. She's going as Nashu, and I'm going as Nashu Stalker.
My god!
Yeah, so that should be fun.
amazing.
And I'm curious, are you planning on cosplaying for Fanfest?
Look, if it was in Australia, maybe, but because I'll be traveling to London, I've only got a 20 kilo bag limit, so no. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be trying to, because I would like to obviously buy some stuff while I'm there, so I've got to make sure to not pack too heavy to make sure that I'm not over carrying, because I'm going to be doing like a little bit of a Europe trip after FanFest as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where are you going, if
Good.
you don't mind me asking?
Just gonna go, so we'll be in London, and then we're gonna check out Edinburgh, and then I'm gonna head down to Cyprus because I've got some family over there that I haven't ever met before, so I'm really excited to go over and meet them finally.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. I've actually never been to London or Europe, so if you were to give me like a recommendation of like where should my first place to go in Europe, where would you?
I don't know.
where
I've
should I
never
go?
been either.
Okay.
This will be my first time. Like
Okay.
I've got family over there, but I've never visited myself. Like my nan used to come and visit us in Australia. So yeah, I'll be my first time. I think last time I was in London, I was like a baby, so I don't remember anything.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a good time.
Thank
it's gonna be
you.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for of FanFest?
Oh my goodness. I want to see Yoshi P. You know, I want to make eye contact with Yoshi P.
Yeah.
7.0 announcements. Really excited for. I think 7.0 is going to be incredible. Like what they've got in store for us. I'm hoping we get to see Primals play live as well. I know that they're doing that in Vegas. I'm not sure if it's happening in London, but I really hope so because I'd love to see that. Like I love my music, so.
Yeah, that's actually what I like. If I were to choose the reason why I was going, it's definitely for that Primals concert. It's gonna be so sick. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be the only one moshing over there.
Nah, there'll be lots of people moshing.
Right. Yeah. So you know, other than FanFest, I got my FanFest merch today, and I know a lot of other people in the community got theirs too. So, if you bought anything from the FanFest merch, you should be getting it soon.
Awesome.
The merch
We can
is
do
so
it in
cute,
Australia.
by the way. Yeah. Aw.
We don't get stuff shipped here.
Dang.
Maybe one day we can get shipping here. It's so sad.
Yeah. And patch 6.45 came out last week. So if you haven't checked out the new mounts, the new minions, there's a bunch of stuff that came out with this patch.
Variant Dungeon. I made a little Variant Dungeon guide if anyone needs help finding their pathways.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to be looking at that myself.
Yay! That's good.
Yeah, so I think the first question that I have for you is how did you get introduced into Final Fantasy 14? How did you find out about the game, and why did you play it?
Well, it's a very long time ago. I think it was 2015 when I first found out about Final Fantasy 14. It was actually through my ex-boyfriend at the time. We were both playing World of Warcraft. We were checking out like Black Desert Online. Like there was a lot of stuff happening like with MMOs that we were checking out. And then I think they announced Heavensward expansion, and we just started playing before Heavensward came out, and I was watching like the trailers and everything, and I was like, oh my god, like the auras like really got my attention. I was like, oh my god, I really want to play an aura. And I looked up some videos on like the character creation, and I was like, I have to play this game. Like I think the character creation really sold it to me because I love just like I love character creation. I just do. So I just was like, nah, I gotta play. And I honestly fell in love with the game so quickly. Like I love playing World of Warcraft like in my free time. So,
Yeah.
but there was something about WoW that was very unfulfilling for me. So Final Fantasy kind of filled in those gaps that were missing from WoW. Like Final Fantasy is very aesthetically pleasing, and it's very much kind of my vibe. Is what I want to say. Like, I'll never forget, I was returning to the Waking Sands one day, and I saw the sunset. It was either a sunset or a sunrise. Like, you know, the Waking Sands was like here, and there was like those stairs that go down, and there's like the water. And I remember so clearly like seeing this really beautiful like sunset, and I was like, this game is incredible. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Like this time like based like weather, and it was just gorgeous. And I don't know, just from that moment it really kind of sunk in. It was really beautiful.
Wow.
I'm trying to think what else. I the first time because Heavensward was like the latest expansion when I first played, and I remember finishing the story, and literally as soon as I finished the story, I made a new character and I just went through the story again. Because I was like, I didn't really know much about like endgame content, and I enjoyed the game so much that I just wanted to play it again. So I literally just like created another character, went through the story again. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly just loved it that much. It was just so much fun.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people. There has been a lot said about A Realm Reborn. And I'm just curious as to how, like, what is your take on A Realm Reborn? Because, you know, a lot of people say it's too long. A lot of people say that there's like a lot of filler. How do you feel about it?
Definitely like when I used to play A Realm Reborn, I haven't played like the new version of A Realm Reborn because like it's so different now. So I can't talk about the new version, but the old version, yes, there was a lot of filler. There was a lot of kind of not unnecessary like cutscenes, but it did just feel like it dragged out a little bit, and it was easy to kind of like lose focus. But the cool thing was like the cutscenes that were kind of voice acted were like those most important ones, so you could kind of like skim through the ones that kind of weren't voice acted, you know, kind of like. Because you just want to play the game sometimes. You're just like, oh, I just want to play. I want to get to that next dungeon. I want to get to that next trial sort of thing, which I totally understand. But I personally loved Realm Reborn. Oh, I have a nice coffee. Thank you. But yeah, I think what they've done with Realm Reborn now is huge. And I think it is like going to help a lot of people like get through to like Heavensward, because Heavensward, like the writing is just so much better and everything. Like I like the idea and the story behind A Realm Reborn. I think it's just it sets that like base story, do you know what I mean? And then it's all just pillars. It sets a tone, and then all the expansions are just like these pillars that just rise above it, and it's just like like you need A Realm Reborn. I feel like those other expansions just like wouldn't be what they are without that base that we have, sort of thing. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What are you currently working on in 14? I know you said that you are going to start T, but what are you currently working on now?
P12S phase 2.
Oh, how is that
raid.
been?
It's been good. I actually really enjoy this raid tier. It's been very refreshing. It doesn't feel like it drags out too much. The fights are very interesting, like different mechanics and everything. But then like when I'm not raiding, I always try and do like community stuff with the FC, and I'm always trying to help out Party Finder, Duty Finder, wherever I can, because there's still like that scarcity about Materia DC and it being like a dead data center, which it isn't. You just got to look in the right places. There are so many amazing communities over here that just want to help people out.
I will say, I give you props because I feel like you're the only one who's holding that Materia flag, saying, you know, come here, it's not that bad, you know.
No, there's a few of us. There's a few. Okay, there's not that many, but there's definitely a few of us. And we're very passionate about the data center. We are like, we love it here. We can see how special the community is. and like I don't know, the energy and like just the people. Everyone's so caring. Everyone just wants to make sure that everyone has the best time possible over here, you know?
Yeah.
And we want to make sure everyone has their best experience. And yeah, it's special.
Yeah. Would you say 14 is the best MMO in your opinion?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that?
Community. Everyone's so nice to each other. Everyone just wants the best for each other. To me, the rating in this game is the most fun for me. It involves like a lot of puzzles and stuff, and that's like what I really enjoy. I like that one character plays multiple jobs as well, so you actually, you know, start to form a bond with your main character. Unlike when you're playing other MMOs, you have to keep switching characters, and you're not really building much of a bond with like that character in particular. Like, sure, you have a main, but I think it's really different in the Final Fantasy world.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. What do you want to see from 7.0? Since that's coming out right around the corner.
I honestly don't even know. I'm so excited for more story. I do hope that we get to go into Mercidia. I think that would be amazing, and I really think that is what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm really excited to see the Femme Hrothgars as well. I'm excited for that.
A lot of people are.
Yeah. The graphic update. I was so excited.
So the graphic update is the one thing that I think I've been obsessing over since that live letter, and I'm just curious as what to you from that update will leave you satisfied. Like what exactly do you think you would need for you to see that update and say, okay, this is poggers, this is what I want to see?
That's such a tough question.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm someone that's very easily pleased.
Yeah.
Like I came from playing Overwatch for 3 years that had no content updates, and that was just hell. So when I get any sort of new content, I'm like, hell yeah, bro! Like, let's go. This is awesome. It's like one little small thing, and I'm like super excited about it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm really hoping the new jobs that we get is something that I will enjoy as well. Like I love playing Summoner. But I would love to find like a new caster job that like if there's a new caster job that I feel like is really comfy and something I will enjoy, I think that will be like the cherry on top. Like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's got to be a caster what's coming out next.
It should be.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get a tank caster one day, and that'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I probably won't play that.
So I am curious as to what do you think are 3 things that every Final Fantasy player should accomplish? Because for me, in my opinion, my list is attending a wedding in game because they're super cute.
Yeah.
I think clearing any Savage raid tier is a must.
Yeah.
And this is my own personal favorite, but I think completing the Omicron Beast Tribe is a must as well, just because that story was so cute. I almost cried, you know, and I don't cry very easily in games, but it was so cute. But to you, what do you think everyone should have on their to-do list in the game?
I agree, clearing like a Savage, or like if you're really ballsy, an Ultimate, because the feeling that you get after like clearing one of those for the first time is like, oh my god, like I did it. It's such a good feeling. It really is. And it's really fun, and really it's just so rewarding. It really is. So yeah, that's definitely one. Number 2 for me, I kind of want to go more like down the community like road. I think finding a community in the game that you feel like you belong in, because like if that's a cross-world link shell, if it's in an FC, I feel like it brings like a whole other aspect to the game and just like one-ups it like so much. Like it's such a beautiful thing having these friends online that are just there for you and just want to hang out, do raids together. Like, it's really special. So I think finding a community is like a must. Just to have that experience of like bonding with people and sharing a love for like the game together. And then number 3, that's a tough one. I think try out every type of like job. Like try a caster, try a range DPS, try a melee, try a tank, try a healer. Like I think that variety, like everyone must do. You gotta try. I'm not saying like every single job, but like try one of like each role because they're all so different. They play like so differently and everything.
Yeah, I get a lot of comments of people saying that they are afraid of tanking, and
fair enough.
Yeah, and like for me, like I've always felt that tanking was one of the easier jobs just because, you know, you have a healer that are typically just, you know, providing you with heals, and I've always felt that healing was way more tougher than tanking. But I'm curious, like what do you think? What is the harder role?
I feel like it's fight dependent.
Yeah,
but if we're
that's fair.
talking about like just dungeons or something, I would say yeah, maybe healing, because like I kind of want to say healing, but at the same time, if there's a instance or like a trial or a raid that tanks have a lot of work, or like they have to position the boss a lot, they've got to like, I don't know, set the pace. I feel like tanks are very much a person in charge, and they're the ones like, setting the pace for the fights and everything. And if they don't position the boss in the right spot, that could potentially cause a wipe or like make people lose uptime, like whatever it is. And I feel like they can cop a lot of shit for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the same for healers though. Like, you know, they didn't mitigate enough. Like, both tanks and healers have so much more responsibility than us little DPS players. But I think it's very rewarding playing a tank or healer job as well. Like I recently cleared P8 as a scholar, and that was something else. It was so different than clearing on my summoner. Like, oh my god, like learning how much I had to heal or like how much I had to mint. It was just like,
I gotta say,
there was so many times I was like, no, everyone's fine. Like, we've got enough HP, and then like literally everyone died. Sorry.
Yeah, healing a savage just sounds like a nightmare to me. Like
it's
that is top tier gaming in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is not easy.
You know, I cannot have a conversation with you without talking about Overwatch, because I know Overwatch was such a big part of your life, and I think my first question is just what was that transition like from becoming like an Overwatch pro to a Final Fantasy 14 pro?
Overwatch pro. It was scary. It was really scary because I knew there was a lot of people that wasn't gonna like follow me over to playing Final Fantasy 14, but there were people that did as well, and I'm still so grateful of my community that have been like with me since the Overwatch days, like. And for those that have also jumped into playing Final Fantasy 14, incredible, honestly. Like, it's very rewarding, and I know that they're having a better time playing Final Fantasy 14 now too, which is really cool to see. But it was really scary. Like, at first, I was just gonna do like, you know, 2 days a week Overwatch, 2 days a week Final Fantasy, and then on that 5th day I was just gonna see how I felt kind of thing. I did that for like a week, and I was like, no, fuck her. I was just at that point, I just did not want to play anymore, because I stopped caring about like my SR, my competitive stuff, and I was like, why am I playing this if I don't care anymore? So I which is like, there's no point. Like, I'm not enjoying it. I don't care about my competitive rank. People treat me like shit. Like, there was so many just bullies that just wanted to like talk shit, stream snipe. Like, I had so much anxiety before starting stream because I was like, what's gonna happen today? Am I gonna get stream sniped? Is there gonna be someone come to the chat just talking shit? Like, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, there's not single soul in this Final Fantasy 14 community that's like out to get me, which is really nice. But yeah, the transition was really scary. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go because like I was doing okay as an Overwatch content creator. Like I was doing okay. So it was really scary. Obviously numbers were lower and everything when I first transitioned over, but just a lot of hard work and patience. You know, I got my numbers back up again and now have this awesome community, and I honestly wouldn't change for the world. Like I'm so much happier as a content creator playing Final Fantasy 14 than I think I ever was playing Overwatch, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you go back ever, like once in a while? Do you ever play Overwatch?
The last time I played was when Blizzard finally paid me to play Overwatch 2. Like I had never had a paid gig on all my how many years working as an Overwatch streamer, and then as soon as I leave, obviously it's like, hey, come do this Overwatch 2 stream for us. It's like
come back. So
sure.
and you know, this is actually a perfect segue. Do you think Overwatch died when Jeff left? Because I know some people thought that, and I'm just wondering, like, what do you think?
Yeah, part
Jeff
of me wants to agree with that. Yeah, he was our like light. He was our heart in the game. He really cared about the community. He really cared about what we wanted. And then he was kind of like our Yoshi P now. Do you know what I mean? It's like if Yoshi P was to leave, like filling that spot is like near impossible, you know? So yeah, I feel like losing Jeff was a huge reason to why Overwatch kind of went a little bit downhill, and people lost a lot of faith. And people believed that, you know, Jeff didn't get to do what he thought was best for the game and for the community, and that's why like he left, sort of thing. But who knows?
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
Nah. I always wanted to go to BlizzCon, but I never got there. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because then all the other shit started happening in Blizzard, and I was just like, no, this is crap. It just it was really sad though, because it just started putting like this whole negative energy over Overwatch as well. And then the Blizzard team in Australia that I worked with were actually really nice people. Like they were awesome. Yeah, so it was a shame to see them like get a bad name, even though they hadn't done anything wrong as well, if that makes sense. Like they were a really good team that worked here in Australia.
I feel like a lot of people forgot that there's a difference between upper management and, you know, the people in the
so different,
and people in the dev teams and the people who are, you know, like the community managers. And they like the entire game kind of just got, you know, dragged through the mud, and it was unfortunate, because I felt like Overwatch was always the most like, well, maybe not the trolls in the game, but I feel like the game and the game devs were always pretty positive, and you know, it felt for a while like Overwatch was going to turn like a new page for Blizzard, and it kind of just sort of
crumbled.
Yeah.
It did, yeah. Like everyone was loving it, and then it just turned to shit. Like it's how I met my partner as well. Like we love playing the game together and everything. Like it was a huge thing for us. Now we both just don't touch it. Like we're playing Grounded at the moment. That's really fun.
Oh yeah, I played that. I was playing that on my Steam Deck for a little while.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you a little bit about content creation. And I think the first question I want to ask you is, what do you typically say when somebody asks you, you know, like, what do you do?
I actually just have to play video games. Like, I think it's the funnest thing. It's like, well, what do you do? I play video games. Like, it just gets like a funny, like, sort of reaction.
Yeah.
And then I try and explain. And I'm like, yeah, I like, you know, do live streams, like create content for YouTube. Upload stuff to TikTok. I'm active on Twitter, and they're just like, wow, okay, like, you know, you do a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot. You know, it's usually how the conversation goes. So. Yeah.
So you know, take us back. Like, where exactly did you even start with this whole content creation stuff? You know, why even put yourself out there?
first, I started streaming to try and draw more because I wanted to be a digital artist. This was back in 2018, and I was actually selling artwork at conventions and stuff like that. And I was doing a lot of Overwatch fan art, anime fan art, and selling stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna start streaming my drawings. And then when I was at cons, I was like, sharing my Twitch as well. It was Sarah Jane with an underscore back then, and then I actually remember when Sarah Jane became available, I was so scared that someone was going to take it that I changed my name during a live stream and then just crashed everything. It was very stupid.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. Yeah, it was totally worth it. But yeah, it was to do like more drawing because back then I didn't have good enough internet to actually play games and stream at the same time as well because Australian internet is like poo-poo. So we had to wait to get NBN. And once we got NBN finally installed, I was able to. I was playing fucking Hearthstone. I remember now. I was playing Hearthstone, and I was so bad at the game. I had no idea what I was doing, and I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I remember I tried to do like a birthday stream to like one viewer once, and I had like these balloons like connected to my chair.
Yeah.
And I was just playing Hearthstone to like literally no one.
Do you like is there anything you miss about that? About streaming to, like 5-10 people?
I guess the only thing that I would miss about that is there's no expectations. I feel like now there's like expectations of
that's
myself.
how I feel about this show.
I know I put it on myself. I know people don't. I don't know. I don't think people. I don't know. But I have expectations of myself and how I should show up and how I should react, how I should be, sort of thing. Or I feel like I don't put on a good show. But when I was streaming to like 5 people, it's just like I'm just gonna rock up. Whatever happens, happens. Now it's like planning what's gonna happen on stream, making sure I get done what I wanted to get done, make sure I get some clips out of the stream, there's just a lot more to it now instead of just going live and just who knows what's gonna happen, Yeah. Very different.
And one of the things that I've always felt whenever I'm streaming myself, I do feel like I'm always on, like I'm supposed to have this like higher energy. I'm supposed to try to be entertaining. And I'm just wondering, like for you, did that come naturally? Were you always like a natural entertainer or did you have to like practice being live? Yeah.
I always I remember being that kid at school that kind of liked attention. Cause I used to do gymnastics as well. So I would perform a lot doing gymnastics, and I did dance. I did choir stuff. I was kind of always on stage and performing and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked being people having attention on me. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then it totally changed. In high school, I was like, no one look at me, kind of thing. So from primary school to high school, it changed a lot. And then when I came to streaming, it was kind of hey, I'm kind of okay with this. And I remember before streaming, I was already trying to build an Instagram following, and I used to dress up, do my makeup, do my hair, and try and be an influencer sort of thing. And I oh my god, I even remember watching YouTubers and be I want to do that. Oh my god, who was it? Nate and Destry? These two scene kids. And I used to love them. And I thought they were the funniest people. And I used to watch them with my friends at school.
Yeah.
Nate and Des, I think it was. And I used to want to do shit like that. And I remember I did a vlog once, and it was the cringiest shit ever.
Yeah.
And I remember I had my guitar, and I was trying to play some guitar, and I was talking about video games that I played, and
so,
God help me if I ever find that video.
I'm sure someone in your chat will find it.
No. Oh God, no. And then I remember back in 2010, 2010 or 2011 downloading OBS on my MacBook. And I had downloaded a Nintendo 64 emulator onto my Mac as well, and I was trying to stream myself playing one of my favorite games, Mischief Makers, and trying to record the content through OBS on my Mac back literally in 2010, 2011. Like, so like even since then, I was like very into like wanting to put myself out there, like wanting to record content, wanting to like do vlogs and stuff like that. So I do feel like this is what I've always kind of wanted to do, but I just never kind of knew it. Like even I used to edit rhythmic gymnastics videos when I was in high school because I just enjoyed it. I remember trying to find music and then getting clips and putting them together and making like these montages, like sort of thing. So like I've always been into just like making videos and trying to record content and everything. Was that even the question? I don't even know how that conversation started.
I love it. It's all right. So were you nervous at all putting your like IRL self on the internet? Because I think that's something that even me, like to this day, I'm still a little iffy about.
No, I don't think it bothered me. No, I think because I saw other people doing it, I was like, that's fine. Like, all these other people are doing it. Why should it be different for me? Sort of thing. Like, and I used to. Back in my Overwatch days, I used to love watching XQC because he was like the biggest Overwatch streamer back then. And I used to think he was great. Like I was like, man, look at his energy, like he's so funny, like, and like he didn't care about just putting himself out there. He didn't give a shit what people thought of him, and that's actually something I really kind of looked up to. And you know, from my past, I've had a lot of people tell me how I should be and how I shouldn't be, and I kind of lost a bit of myself a few years ago. So honestly, streaming's kind of helped me kind of find myself again and just be happy with who I am and be able to project the things I like without people telling me it's wrong. I've literally had people in my life tell me I like things and that's a wrong sort of like opinion, and like no, like especially with my cam, right? Like I've always loved my cam, like literally my whole life, and I had people tell me like you shouldn't tell people you like my cam. Like, that's embarrassing. Like I literally, I'm not kidding. And this was someone that I was very, very close to. Like you shouldn't tell people you like my cam. It's really embarrassing. And now I'm just like, bro, I talk about them all the time.
I'm
very passionate.
I love them. I've seen them live twice, and they never.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Yes, I love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I really hope they put out a new album.
Oh,
I really do.
Foundations was so good. I'm very keen.
So, you know, you mentioned earlier that you've done a couple of charity streams, and I'm curious. Why is charity important to you?
I've always just liked to give back, and in any way that I can. It's very rewarding. Again, to like being like after the charity like stuff is finished and getting to see how much like money I'm being able to help people, and like it's insane. It's honest. Like I've even like my brother had like a really hard couple of years, and we actually did like a little charity thing for my brother, and it was just like being able to help people through this amazing community that I have. Like it's so special, and like it's like you can't change the world, but this is something that I can do. You know what I mean? Like you can't go out there and change the world, but this is something that I can sort of like do that's gonna help people.
You're
so like
doing your part.
Yeah. So just being able to do that, it feels really good to be able to do it and see like, I'll get email back from Starlight, like Children's Foundation, and be like, you've helped this many kids be able to do this and this and this. And it's like, damn, like that is so incredible. Like to be able to do that, it's just like, why would I not do that? Like if I can do that 100%, I'm going to do that. So every year I try to do like at least 1 or 2 charity things.
Yeah. Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It blows my mind. I love talking to my mom about it too. I'm like, hey mom, guess what I did? She's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And then apparently someone, at the like when you just go like shops, there'll be like little charity like pop-ups and people trying to be like, oh, donate like to me or whatever. And I don't think my mom like had any cash on her or whatever. And And I think she like turned around to one of the people. She's like, "Well, my daughter just raised $2,000 for this charity." It was just so funny. Like she'll even use it to like brag and shit. So it's just funny. But no, it's a way that I can give, and like why wouldn't I, sort of thing. It's just an amazing cause. There are so many amazing causes out there that do so many amazing things, and if I can put my input into that, 100% gonna do it.
I've heard you mention in a couple of interviews that you've done that, you know, your mom wasn't so on board with you streaming.
She didn't understand.
Yeah, she didn't understand. So
yeah,
has she come around? Where is she now? Like, is she in your chat, you know, moderating or something?
She won't even get a Facebook, my mom. She's too scared of the internet. She's very scared. But she is very supportive. I love my mom to bits. Like, even because she's back in Perth, I live in Melbourne now. So I miss her very much, a lot. But I'm gonna be seeing her again soon. But you know, she'll let me stream when I go visit her. And the thing that made her understand was she could see the amount of hours that I was putting in, because I moved back home in 2019 after going through like just a bunch of shit. And she, you know, kept checking up on me and be like, you know, have you found a new job yet? Because like, I quit my job, I moved out of my rental, I just like moved back home, and all I want to do was stream, because that's the one thing that kind of made me happy, and play Final Fantasy Shadowbringers. It was around when Shadowbringers came out, and it was very much my happy place was Shadowbringers back then. But I was streaming Overwatch. Like, go figure. Literally, in my free time, I was playing Shadowbringers, and then when I was streaming, I was playing Overwatch. Like, what the fuck, Sarah? What are you doing? Like, it was very dumb. Anyway, I was showing her my revenue. So I was able to make pretty much nearly the same amount of money that I was making in my old job. My old job paid shit anyway. So when she could see that, she was like, "Oh, okay. So you're actually making money." And I'm like, "I'm making money, job money." And she's like, "Okay." And then I met my partner Elliot online, and I moved to Melbourne to be with him and to have more opportunities here in Melbourne. It's a lot more like gaming conventions, a lot more like people, and a lot more stuff happening here than in Perth. But yeah, my dad's always been supportive. My dad's very much like, I don't think I could ever disappoint my dad. He's very much just like, you do what makes you happy. Like, and my mom's very much like that too. Like even in high school, they never made me do exams or anything like that. They knew I was a creative person, and they knew I wasn't like academic in any sort of way. Like, I like performing, I like dancing, I like doing art, and very much during school, like, no one really gives a shit about that stuff unless you're like really freaking good. And I was just like, I just enjoyed it, you know? So yeah, I never knew what I wanted to do. So they're just like, just do what makes you happy. And I'm like, yeah. So I did graphic design, I did interior, this like literally TAFE courses, so like graphic design, interior design, animation, like video editing. Like, I did like all these different things. And then I worked as like a 3D modeler for like a kitchen company, and I made cabinets in 3D modeling for like 6 months. I did that for a little bit. But the best thing about that job was like the decorating afterwards. So like once we had built the kitchen, I got to decorate it like I was playing The Sims. So that was cool. Okay,
look at you.
And then I had to like take screenshots and like make it look really cool and like sell it, sort of thing. So that was kind of fun. And then I did work for a audio-visual company for events, and I did a lot of animation graphic design for them, doing stuff for board events like the Wildcats basketball and the netball teams and stuff like that. Did that for like 3 years. That's the job I quit to then do streaming. And I did gymnastics coaching as well at the same time. So I was always doing so much, like always. And then I quit gymnastics coaching for streaming because my gym coaching was at night times, like after school hours and stuff. So I couldn't do both, even though I love doing it. But you gotta make sacrifices.
Yeah. How have you dealt with burnout? Because you do so much, and you stream a lot, and I'm just wondering, how do you deal with that? What advice would you give people?
I take a day off when I really feel I need it, even though it's really hard to. And there are some days I don't take off, to be honest, and I still push through. But the community always makes me feel better in the end. Like there are so many days where I really don't feel like streaming, and then I stream, and then I was like, I'm so glad I streamed. Do you know what I mean? But then there are many days where I'm like literally just lying on my floor like crying because I feel so overwhelmed and stressed out from just like everything. And then I just cry until I feel better. And then I just keep working. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I think going to visit my family every few months really helps me out. And I don't stream as much. So like this time is actually a little bit longer, and I do feel the burnout like kind of creeping up on me, but I'll be going over at the end of August. So once this charity stuff's done, tea's done, I'm going to be visiting my family at the end of the month. Awesome. Get to relax, maybe just do like 3 streams a week or whatever, or 2, I don't know, see how I go. But yeah, having that time, like go visit my family, take a break from social media and everything, it really helps. But when I don't have that, just cry until I feel better. And then get back to work.
Yeah. So
that's not the best coping mechanism. I used to talk to a psych. Like actually having like a psych to talk to. There's nothing wrong with talking to therapist chat. Like it's okay to get help. Honestly, it helps so much just having someone outside of your life to look in from like a different perspective.
Yeah, you
actually like I want to go talk to one again. Like just why not? If you can do it, it just helps you just like realign your mental.
Yeah. The stigma of seeing a therapist has always been
like such a negative thing. I'm like, no, like it just helps. It really helps.
So you hit Twitch partner in 2019, right?
Yeah.
How do you think Twitch has changed since then?
So much. There's so many more streamers now. It's a lot more competitive. Revenue stuff has changed drastically, especially for us in Australia, where currency stuff is just shit. So like it costs $8 Australian to buy a Twitch sub, which is a lot of money.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't blame people for not wanting to subscribe, where like back then it was just the exchange rate at the time. So like the USD exchange rate, but now it's like a solid like $8, which is like, or $7.99, whatever. So I think that impacts a lot as well. And then, just the currency stuff has really like fucked a lot of Australian content creators over. And so much more people. It's just a lot. It's a lot harder now. It's a lot harder. Like, I feel like I'm probably still making like the same amount of money that I was in 2019. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though I've like grown as a content creator, it doesn't mean that like my revenue is any higher, sort of thing. Which is like bizarre, right? You'd think that as you grow as a creator, you should grow in revenue as well, but no, it's not working like that.
Are you constantly looking at like your analytics? Like, are you going like full Mr. Beast when you're like looking at like everything that's going on?
Yes, just because I feel like I need to be aware. Because if I'm not aware, then I kind of lose track. And I try and see like, okay, what did I do this month that maybe more people subscribed than what I did last month? Like try and see the differences and see what works, what doesn't work. Like I noticed like I'll have a higher view count on the weekends, which makes sense, right? Like more people are at home and stuff like that. So or people, I guess I stream kind of late if people are working say a 9-to-5 job in Australia. And I'm streaming till midnight. They want to go to sleep at like 10:30. So they feel good for the day and not be a degen.
You're keeping them up, Sarah.
I know,
that's what I
right? So I don't even know what I was talking about now.
That's okay. what's your take on Kick and Twitch, the whole drama surrounding that? Because talking to a lot of Twitch streamers, the Kick revenue split is something that it's hard to look past.
Yeah,
but
it just
there's so
seems
much baggage.
Unauthentic. Yeah, it just seems very unauthentic.
Okay.
And honestly, Kick could go down in an instance. I still feel like there's more stability on Twitch than there is Kick. Like I could be wrong, but it's just how it feels as a content creator. Like I'd probably feel more secure on YouTube. It's a bigger platform. It's been alive for a little bit longer. Like I'm not really one to take risks. So I can't really, like, I secured my name on Kick. I was like, that's the least I can do is just secure Sarah Jane. But honestly, the people that kind of represent Kick are not, to me, it's like they're not very genuine people, and I'm very much about being genuine and just like be myself and whatever. And I don't get that feeling with Kick at all.
Yeah, like lucky, or I don't know. Luckily for me, I have like no horse in this race. Like to me, it doesn't really matter which one succeeds and which one fails.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing to me is that Microsoft had Mixer, and Microsoft has like all the money in the world, and even they couldn't keep Mixer going. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Kick. I think it's interesting that like you said, the people that are representing it are just so interesting.
Not my kind of people. Like they're not really people that I would want to be friends with.
Yeah.
IRL. Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Like, would I be friends with these people? No. But that's just like an outside perspective. But it's because I can't see them. They're genuine. Like they could be a really awesome person, but the person that they portray online is not really someone that I would like to mix with.
Yeah.
Even though the Twitch CEO has like some really fucking weird shit that I've seen as well, and I'm just like, there's no winning. There's honestly no winning. I've just been on Twitch for so long now. I just feel more at home on Twitch than anywhere else.
That's fair. Which platform do you think is taking best care of its community or of its creators?
Good question. None.
Wow.
Honestly, I think I've seen people complain about TikTok. I've seen a lot of awesome Australian creators that do a lot of awesome TikTok content, and they don't get anything. YouTube, I've also seen a lot of people just complaining they don't barely get any, like, YouTube videos getting over 1 million views and getting nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? I mean, for their enjoyment, but like, if the platforms aren't gonna like encourage them to keep creating, it's very discouraging.
Yeah.
Someone at my door.
Oh.
I'm scared. Wait, let me just message my partner.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, look, if no one text messages me or messages me, I'm not answering it,
Of course.
Sorry about that. I'll just ignore them. It's fine.
So I'm sure a lot of people ask you for, advice when it comes to streaming or creating YouTube videos. Is there like a go-to advice that you typically give people?
Be consistent. That is my number one thing. Consistency is key because you improve over time, you learn a lot, and people can see that you're serious about it. Because when you keep dropping off and then coming back, dropping off, coming back, people aren't going to take you seriously.
Yeah.
You just got to be consistent with it. And the biggest thing is having that reason to why you're creating in the first place. Like, why are you creating content? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to create this content for all these people? Because if you don't have that, then it's like kind of pointless again. You know what I mean? So I think having the reason to get out of bed, the reason to create content, the reason to go live. Like, you know, it's not I want to stream because I just want to stream. It's not that. It's like I want to stream because eventually I like my why is I would love to be a someone that can be a mom at home raising kids, whatever, but also being able to work from home and not having to put my kids in daycare. And like, you know, I would love to have that stability of making YouTube content and just go and stream when I can, and also being able to raise a family at home and not have to like go to work and like, you know, drive hours and whatever. Like that's my why for my future sort of thing. And then the other why is for my community. Like there are people that message me saying, you know, thank you so much for making me laugh today. I've had a really shit day. Or like that reason means everything. You know what I mean? If I can change someone's day, that's why I go live. It's not like I think there's a thing called like being on self or like being on purpose sort of thing. It's like when you're on self, you're just like, oh, woe is me. I feel tired today. But then like being on purpose, like, oh, my purpose again, like what is my whys? You know, my future, my community, like that's why I should go live, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah. You know, back in April, you posted a tweet about this like parasocial relationship with a quote unquote fan. What have you learned about, you know, parasocial relationships since then, and how can we avoid that?
Oh man, I don't know if it's avoidable. It just happens, and then it's just like you just gotta give them little attention once it kind of. You just need to be like straight out, be like, sorry, thank you for your reply, whatever, but I'm not going to continue messaging you from here, sort of thing. Like you just gotta be like so straight out. Like don't lead people on, don't like act overly friendly. Like I'll always respond to people that do. Like my Discord DMs are open. Like I don't mind people reaching out to me and like asking for help, or like a new streamer like wants some help with some streaming tips. Sure, like I don't mind helping people. Like that's I'm totally okay with that. It's more when it's like, hey Sarah, we're best friends now. I've been in your streams for like a month and we're best friends, right? Oh, I donated 500 bits. We're best friends. So like, no, hello. And then like, I just have to, they'll DM me being like, oh, because of this friendship, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we are not friends. Like, I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? You just gotta be straight out. You just gotta be like, no, and then just like, don't reply anymore. Like once you've said all that you need to say, you just leave it. Just leave it.
See.
But I don't think it's, I mean, you could just turn off all your DMs. You could just like ignore them and chat. Like that is the way you'd avoid it. But like for me, that also restricts other communication from legitimate people that just, you know, I mean, some people, I know there's, I was in a Twitch thing like recently, and so many people were like, I would never have my DMs open. And I'm just like, but for me, I don't mind. Like everyone's different. Like some people are just hate getting any sort of DMs from any of their community members, and I'm just like, bro, I'm like all about my community. I'm like
without them, you know, who are you? You know, without your community.
I mean that like my community is my everything. Like I love these guys. Like they're my reason to fucking stream. Like if it wasn't for them, you know, what am I doing? But yeah, it's not like there's so many streamers that are very much just like, this is my content, my chat is my chat. But I guess Final Fantasy again is like a very community focused game. But like say people are playing, I don't know, Apex or whatever. There isn't really that community in the game or anything, you know? So like they're very much just like, that's my chat, that's my Discord, and they want to contact me in Discord, they put out like a ticket and then maybe they can get a message from me. But like for me, it's like, hey guys, what are we doing this week? We're doing mount farming, we're doing like alliance raids, like you know, what are we doing? Like it's so different.
What did you learn anything about content creation for making an Instagram account for Ash and Loki?
No. That was during COVID and I was bored.
Yeah.
I was so bored. And I was like, my cats are cute. I like taking photos of my cats. So I made a TikTok as well.
Oh.
And I was just uploading like random cat videos and shit. Just out of pure boredom. Yeah. It was just something else to do during COVID and lockdown and everything. And then once COVID kind of ended, I kind of stopped uploading, to be honest. Was more focused on Final Fantasy stuff anyway.
Of course. If you didn't go down the path of being a content creator, where do you think you'd be at now?
Either doing like art stuff still, drawing, or like video editing or animation. Like it'd be in that creative field. But if not doing that, then probably working with animals in some way, shape, or form, because I like working with animals. Like it's just rewarding for me. I don't have to talk to them as much as I talk to people. I was like, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a vet nurse, but I decided not to be a vet nurse after a really bad work experience that I had, and I was like, nope, this is not for me. Just some tragic stuff happened in the week of work experience that I had, and I was just like I was just traumatized by what these poor animals went through, and I was like, I'm too sensitive for this. Can do it.
So, like when you take a step back and you think about, you know, the brand that you created and the, you know, your Twitch and your YouTube, you know, I think it's fair to say that you are a content creator.
Yeah. I guess.
Would you recommend it? Like, is it a fun job? Is it a good job? Is it like, would you recommend it to people? Because
not to everyone.
Well, like,
That's the
what do you mean by that?
You gotta have it in you. I used to believe everyone could do it, but it depends on the person. Again, I feel like you have to think differently than everyone else. And you gotta again, it kind of goes back to that person, like you don't want to be like a normal human. Like, you don't want to be like, for me, I was always someone that's like, I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I was so against that. And so I think that's what really pushed me. Like, I didn't want to settle for what everyone else is doing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like only those sort of people can really put in that time and effort that it really requires to be a successful content creator. Like, you can't give up. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna take a month off now. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you gotta just keep like pushing through, and you learn through all these mistakes and everything that you make. You just gotta have it in you, and you gotta like just really want it more than, like, I was obsessed with Twitch. When I first started streaming, I was obsessed. Like, I was listening to podcasts about Twitch when I was at my current job, learning more about content creation, learning more about streaming, because I was so new to it. Like, you gotta be like that obsessed, like passion, like for it to actually like really want to like do it and succeed at it. And I feel like if you don't have that, then you can be a content creator, but you can be just like a casual content creator, you know? Yeah.
I forgot who it was. I think it was Ludwig. Somebody said that a lot of the content creators that they've met, like a lot of the successful ones, were always the class clowns in like high school, and like they were always the one who wanted the attention and wanted to
attention seekers.
And I think that's one of the things that you need inside of you to
you gotta be like a little goofy. You gotta be okay to like show yourself up. Like there's so many times on stream, especially playing Final Fantasy, like all the like texts and like the stuff I'm so bad at reading, and I still try my best to like read the dialogue to my chat. I show myself up so many times, and chat will just sit there and I'll be like, chat, what's that word? And then they'll like, you know, type out how I can say it like correctly for me. Like you can't get what's the word? There's a word for it. I can't think. So like embarrassed. Like you gotta be okay with feeling embarrassed and like showing yourself up. Stuff like that is totally normal. And I think it makes people feel like more accepted too, because everyone's a little bit strange, a little bit goofy, you know. Like it's okay. Like no one's a perfect human. Everyone makes mistakes, and I think if you can bring that authentic self to your stream, like it's gonna help you. You know?
Yeah. This is the best community by far that I've ever seen. You know, everyone is always so welcoming. Like even content creators like yourself are so willing to work with us little people down here, you know. And I'm so incredibly grateful. You are you know, thank you again for coming on the show. I
had fun.
Yeah, this was great. Do you have any plans for your second YouTube channel?
My VOD channel?
Yeah.
I have a vlog channel that I haven't uploaded to in years, and I have a VOD channel. The vlog channel, no idea. The VOD channel, I want to play Kingdom Hearts actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out, and I used to play the old games, so I kind of want to play Kingdom Hearts like 1.5, 2.5, and stuff before. I'm not gonna play 3 because 3 is crap. Before 4 comes out, and then I'll probably play 4 on stream, and then probably upload my VOD of that. But it's not really anything. Oh, I mean 7.0 stuff I'll probably end up uploading to my VOD channel now as well. But before I was like trying to highlight the really important parts and then upload them to my main channel. But VOD channel kind of pops off.
Well, you know, I think that's all the time that we have today. So,
thank you.
Again, thank you again. You're awesome. I'm so happy that I met you. You're the best. You're the best.
Thank you.
What do you have going on in the future? What do you want to plug? What's coming up for Sarah Jane?
Yeah, so starting next month, we're going to be progging tea for the Starlight Children's Foundation. So we're going to be raising money for sick children in hospital. We're going to be raiding every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in August for like 5 to 6 hour sessions. I'm really excited to do some more charity stuff. Yeah, it's going to be good. Very excited.
Yeah, awesome.
TV/Sarah Jane. Yeah, that one.
Everybody go follow her on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, everything.
Yeah,
thank you Twitch chat. There's 17 people. Wow, I've never had so many people in my chat before.
They're all cuties.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone who showed up. Thank you everybody on the TikTok stream. And oh
yeah, we're on TikTok too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I TikTok.
All right, goodbye.